Hello YouTube, this is GTO Killingkong. I am making a video on Monster Hunter World. It's the first video I've ever made. Um, well, with me narrating, I guess. Uh, and I wanted to make a video on how to kill Nergigante. He was the first thing in this game that gave me trouble. Um, I wanted to show off how to kill him solo. I do have decent gear now that I've killed him, but I did do this the first time with Rarity 5 gear. And I'm going to be using the Insect Glaive just because it's one of the easiest weapons to use. But if you want me to use another weapon, just ask, and I can use any weapon that you would want me to see used, I guess. You just have to tell me what you want to see, and I could try to do it for you. It's easiest with the Insect Glaive just because of how overpowered it is. I will go over my gear. I will go over what to put on your cat, and I will go over your inventory. Well, my favorite setup for the inventory. We're not going to be using anything special, just the Mega Bombs, which you don't necessarily have. It just makes it, or have to use, just makes it a little bit easier to kill. And I will be using Flash Pods, which are really easy to come by. It just makes it a little bit easier. That's it. The first time I beat him, I used a Rarity 5 weapon. Also, I'm going to be using a Rarity 6, I believe. Yeah, a Rarity, oh, no, Rarity 5 still. I can use anything that you would want me to use, but for this video, I'm going to be using a Rarity 5 Thunder Insect Glaive. For the gear, I am going to have my Rarity 8 Dragon King eye patch for the weakness exploit. It makes it so I deal a little bit extra damage with affinity. My chest piece is just for the stamina surge. Agitator's nice just because you get that extra damage boost every time he roars. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna have an attack boost gem inside of my gear. I will be using this for the free elemental ammo up. The only reason why is because without it, my weapon will not do any thunder damage. So it's useful. I have better ones, but I can't use them without using the free elemental ammo up. My Rarity 5 pants, it's just for the fortify. If I do die, I get a huge damage and attack boost. So that's always nice. You don't necessarily need it, but it's nice. And then for the boots, I'm just going to be having defense boost. It's just the best boots that I have at this point. So, I mean, probably I should be using this one just because it has the earplugs. It's just, it's preference. Like I said, I beat this with Rarity 5 gear on all of my pieces the first time, so it's just about learning his moves, and once you learn his moves, then you can easily do this. I've killed him a handful of times now. I will be doing it on the investigation, so I'm only going to get 30 minutes to be able to kill him instead of 50, but I will be able to die 5 times. I won't need them. In the regular mission, you're only going to be able to die 3 times, but it's not necessary. It took me a long time to learn his moves and everything, and what to dodge, when to dodge, all that stuff. But now that I've learned them, I feel like I can kill him regularly, and him being the first Elder Dragon, technically you fight Zoro. Magdaros is technically the first Elder Dragon you fight, but he's kind of a pushover. It's way too easy of a fight. The Elder Dragon now that we're going to be fighting today, and I'm going to be walking you through on what to dodge, when to dodge, his moves that aren't that painful and you can take. He's definitely a lot stronger than anything else you've fought at up to this point. I will be using... This is my inventory I'll be using. I am going to bring 10 potions just so I can craft more mega potions if I need to, or get them out of the stash. 2 max potions. They're really nice to be able to just get full health instantly if you get hit by the one-shot ability and don't actually die. The ancient potions, just in case I die early and not able to eat again, so that way I can't get the extra health and stamina. Same with the mega nutrients, not necessary. They're just useful to have just in case you do die and not able to eat again. Dash extract, again, not necessary, just makes it a little bit easier to be able to continue. It gives you more stamina regen, so it's really nice. The flash pod, I would say they're necessary just because if you don't have them, if you get in a tight spot, you could just shoot one of these off and flash him, and that gives you time to repair your arm, or repair your weapon, eat, anything you need to do. Farcaster, I just have one of these in my inventory always. I don't know why Shock Trap is in there. Power Charm and Armor Charm I have in my inventory. They give you a defensive boost and a attack boost. Not necessary. The first time I did this, I didn't have these. They are fairly expensive. You can get from this guy before the quest, actually, but they cost 36,000 and 24,000 to buy. So, I mean, if you have a bunch of money just laying around, go for it. They're just nice to have. That's a huge armor and damage boost that you get from those. Besides that, your cat, you can have pretty much any skill on your cat. If you're having trouble, I would recommend going with the healing one. You can have the armor one that taunts the enemy. The drums helps with with the damage boost and health boost, or armor boost. They're huge boosts, and it's very nice to have, but not mandatory. I'm just gonna be using, just so that way I could show you can do it without any of those special buffs or anything. I'm just gonna be using the Plunder Blade. The Choral Orchestra is amazing. It's just, I don't have mine leveled up, so I need to do that probably. Shield Spire, it's good to taunt him away from you for a little while, just so that way you can heal or anything like that. But like I said, the flash pods are meant for that. The Vigor Wasp Spray is amazing. It's just, I'm showing that you don't need it. Of course, he has the full set of Nergigante, but I did this originally with him having Rarity 6 gear. They don't really do a lot of damage. They're just kind of there for support, and that's it. So that's why he's not extremely necessary. It is nice to be able to have him take aggro every once in a while, so that's why I don't keep him behind. But with him in the group, it's very useful for him to distract Nergigante every once in a while. So, now that I went over everything, if you have any questions, just ask in the comments. I'll get back to you if I can. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's a fairly long fight. I think the fastest I've been able to do it solo has been about 25 minutes. So it's gonna be a long video probably, and a lot of information thrown at you fairly fast. I might not talk a lot because I'm going to be concentrating a lot on the fight, but for the most part it should be straightforward. I will tell you the moves when they happen, the one-shot moves, how to tell when it happens, when to dodge, the easiest way to dodge, and with the insect glaive, unfortunately, it being such a broken weapon, makes it super easy to dodge out of the way of most of his abilities. and you just pretty much keep jumping on top of him, constantly dealing damage. So we're just going to go down here and eat really quick. I always do the chef's special. It's not, or chef's choice platter, just because of that damage boost and the defensive boost with the health and stamina. It's just very nice. You can pick up these, but if you have your setup the way that I have it, you don't really need it. Unfortunately, he can have a phase where he goes into the lava area. If that happens, you may have to come back here, or just pick up one of the cool drinks right away, which I probably should have done, but we will see. If you get lucky and he comes into this room, you can break these 2 giant crystals down from the ceiling and smash him with it. Huge amount of damage, just makes it go faster. That's it. Not mandatory to try to get him in here or anything. Let's see, if he comes, this is the main room you're going to be fighting him in. After you get him out of this room in here, he normally always runs into the room we just came from, and if he does that, good. Not mandatory. I mean, there's a lot of space, so you can dodge a little bit easier. With the insect glaive, you have the main thing you want to make sure you do is get all of the buffs before you start trying to take him head on. You want to get the damage boost by hitting him in the face or the front 2 legs. You want to get the defensive boost by hitting him in the wings, and the movement speed boost comes from the back hind legs. And then you pretty much just jump around, constantly hitting him. This insect glaive is extremely useful for this. I didn't want to use this personally whenever I played it, just because I know how broken this weapon is. But it's very good for mounting, and it's hard to mount this guy otherwise because there's not very many places to jump from, besides in that last room with the crystals in the ceiling. If you get him in that room, you can jump off the crystals and land on top of him, and it's a little bit easier to mount him. But with the insect glaive, it's pretty straightforward on being able to mount him. You just jump on him whenever you're using your right trigger Y, or right trigger A, and then, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. His weak spots are going to be his tail, his front legs, and then his head. The problem with his head, though, is if you do not have a blunt weapon, you're not going to be able to hit his head without it not, like, bouncing off. I could show you whenever I knock him down. You can't hit his head very well with most weapons. I've tried to kill him with the bow and the heavy gun. The bow is nice, but without being able to charge up the attack, it doesn't do very much damage, unfortunately. And without, with the heavy gun, the dodge is not fast. That's one of the issues, but I could probably do it. It's just going to take more time. I'd probably have to do the quest instead of the investigation. See right there how I hit him, but wasn't able to do any damage at all? It's because of the fact that his horns are so hard. The only way to get the damage him by hitting that is with a blunt weapon. You can always knock them off, but it's a lot easier to do that whenever you have a blunt weapon. With my strategy, when I'm mounted onto things, for example, like this that has a really slow attack to try to knock me off, all you do is go up and down. You can hold Y to be able to, or hold right trigger so that way you brace yourself. It wastes a lot of stamina. It's just a lot easier to just go up and down his body, and then on top of it, you can actually get damage while you're sliding up and down his body. What I just did right there was the best time I could possibly think of. So this is his one-shot ability. The only way to dodge this, I've noticed, successfully. I didn't do it because I wasn't able to do it in time. But is to jump up in the air and then use your A to jump out of the way. It's very helpful, but it's a little bit harder to do. For the most part, you can tank it as long as you have decent armor. If you don't have very good armor, you will probably get one-shotted by it. It does a lot of damage, and that's pretty much the only ability you have to really be wary of. So now we beat his first phase. As he runs away, I am going to be repairing my weapon. Obviously, you want to do that after every interaction. Even if I'm in blue right now on my weapon for sharpness, it doesn't seem like might as well just take advantage of not having to deal with him right now. Probably should heal up too. I don't need to use a max potion or anything like that. Just use a regular mega potion. I could have probably just used a bunch of regular potions, but it's not necessary. For the most part, I'm going to be using all of my mega potions, but I should be using all of my mega potions. See, he has a lot of abilities that stun you or slow you or anything like that. You got to be wary about, but as long as you keep your life up, you should be fine. I'm not doing a very good job of that because I am distracted a little bit, but my insect, I forgot to go over, is just a healing one with I used to use a healing one. Now I'm using a blast one just because I feel like it's extra damage that I didn't have before. And for this guy, it's all about just dealing a bunch of damage as fast as you can. And that's pretty much it. The big attack that he always screams before it, so you know it's coming. You have to dodge that, or else it can one-shot you, especially if you don't have very good armor. So right now he is winded, so we can just go ham on him and just constantly hit him. But that's a wing attack. You could tell whenever he's going to do that because he digs his wings into the ground and just kind of stands there for a second. It's very easy to dodge just because he got knocked down somehow. I think my cat did it. Whenever he's like this, if I don't have time to sharpen my weapon, I normally just get my buffs again. It's the easiest time to do it. I get my agitator every time he screams, so that works for me. It's hard to hit. I think the hardest buff for this guy to give you is the damage buff, just because you have to aim fairly well. If you miss by a little bit, you're always going to get that movement speed buff, which is nice, but you can't keep refreshing that. Getting those buffs, though, is just crazy effective. You get a huge amount of movement speed, damage, and tankiness just from having them, so it's nice. Right there, it's really fun because he just smashed himself into the wall and it's a bunch of damage onto himself, and he gets a little stunned for a little bit. The areas you can knock off, by the way, I should go over this. You can break his tail off, and you can break one of his horns. The thing with his horns is it's a little bit difficult to land properly because you have to have a blunt weapon to be able to break off his horn. You can do it with a insect glaive. It just the only way you're going to do it is if you have him mounted. The most important buff, in my opinion, so right here's his one-shot ability. He targeted my companion, thankfully. He doesn't do it often, but when he does, it sucks, because that made me restart multiple times when I was trying to do this the first time, just because he would stun you, and you can't do anything, and then he would just destroy you. And so now he's going into the crystal area. It's perfect because of the fact that he will drop, or I can drop the crystals on him. It's very nice. If you use the plunder blade like I am, you have a chance for your little companion to drop dragon damage, and it's a bolt or attachment for your slingshot, and whenever you hit him with it, it does damage and dragon damage, which is the second thing he is weak to, so it's pretty nice having that. And then now all we have to do is, since we dropped that first crystal on him, is we have to get him over to the second crystal. It's fairly easy. He moves around a lot. He's not one of those guys that likes to sit still, so now that I have him underneath it, he's... Oh, missed it. Might as well heal. You don't want to get one-shotted by his jump in the air ability, so... Let's shoot this. Now I'm gonna miss him probably. I've taken this much time to hit it. Am I shooting wrong? I think I'm shooting wrong. Where is it? There it is. I was shooting. That's embarrassing. So now that he's underneath it, let's see if I can do it. There you go. Now I almost died from trying to do that the entire time, but it's a free 400 damage or so that you can deal with it and heal to him, which is really nice to hit. See, right there, I shot him in the face, but I got the movement speed button, and that's just how close you have to actually aim, unfortunately, with this weapon to get the buffs. But it's, the only reason why I use this weapon, like I said, is it's really easy to mount him. It's not necessary. One of my friends is using it with a bow. It's just all about timing with the bow, unfortunately. It used to be my favorite weapon. I don't like to use this weapon. The hammer is still my favorite weapon. But for this fight, I would recommend this weapon just because it's so easy to kill him with. If you spend too much time on the ground or in front of him or whatever, it's going to deal a lot of damage. And that's why I recommend. Here's this. This isn't his one-shot ability. It's one of his abilities. It doesn't hit super hard, but it hurts. You can definitely tell. And then besides that, it's just all about dodging and getting your buffs with the insight glaive constantly. You want to make sure your buffs are up always. If you don't have them up, it's going to be a huge damage loss and a huge amount of defenses you're not going to be doing. So that's his shoulder charge ability. It doesn't hit that hard. It's not mandatory to dodge, but it's fairly easy to dodge, so might as well do it when you can. Whenever you're fighting him in this room, though, the nice thing is it's wide open, just like most of the other rooms that he goes in. But every once in a while, he will go up above in room. Let's see what. Oh, I need to drink the max potion. I'm probably gonna die right here, but yeah, I'm stunned. So, yeah, here's the one-shot ability. When that happens, there's nothing you can do, unfortunately, with the one-shot ability. If you are stunned like I was, you're gonna die. He does that roar, which is really annoying because of the fact that there's no way of getting out of it without having, I think, large earplugs. If you don't have large earplugs, it's going to hurt a lot. I recommend the second time you eat, if you don't have ancient potions, go with anything that gives you life. Even a little bit is better than none. If you have ancient potions, just go with whatever gives you the large damage booster. Just because more damage, faster you kill him. That's pretty much it for that. If we die again, I am going to have to get more ancient potions out of my tab. I keep forgetting to use the flash pods too. I should probably start doing that. Right there, it would have saved me. I could have repaired my weapon and all that stuff. I do not have, I just realized I do not have any of my energy drinks, but the nice thing with the ancient potions is it gives you the energy, so. And then for the flash pods, you want to make sure, obviously, you shoot them in front of them so that they can get flashbang. You'll know he's flashbang once he starts shooting the stars around him. It's pretty straightforward. If you've never used them, that's the only reason why I am just explaining that. You want to always aim, if you were planning on taking off his horn, always hit his horn, but like I said, it's kind of hard to do without a one weapon. If you're going to try to take off his tail like I am, you pretty much always want to be hitting his tail. Besides that, it's just all about moving, dodging all of these bull trap attacks that he has, because there is a lot of them. It's, like I said, he's the first Elder Dragon that you're going to be fighting. It's going to be a tough fight either way. But like I said, the first time I fought this, it was easily the hardest fight that I had to deal with in this game. So when I get him up here, I hate fighting him up here because there's not a lot of room. If you weren't using the insect glaive, it might not be a bad spot because you can mount him a lot easier in this room. But for us, right now, I'm just going to jump down here and he will follow. It's just easier to fight down here. I don't like fighting up there, so I choose to fight down here. I make him come down to me. It's just one of those things that it's just easier, so might as well do it this way. Now that I got the 3 buffs, I am going to just start flailing on him. Hopefully I can mount him again, so that way I can get his tail off. It normally takes about 3 mounts to get his tail off, but I'm running out of time actually, so I only have about a little bit less than 15 minutes left to kill this guy. I've been talking a lot more than I've been fighting, which happens. You can always do this with more than one person. Obviously, it's going to be way easier with more than one person. So right here, you can tell he's limping. He's going to go back to his nest, and we will just... this is where you would want to use the max potions, max mega bombs, sorry. I don't have any on me, so we're not going to deal with that. You just chase him down. Right before you get around the corner, you will want to repair your weapon, obviously. He will go to sleep at this point, though. So, once he goes over here and goes to sleep, you can get everything ready for the next next fight. This next part of the fight should only take about 5-10 minutes. As long as you get here before 40 minutes is up, you should be fine. Unless you can deal a lot of damage fast. If you have more than one person, I would recommend getting a bunch of mega bombs and just laying them right next to his head, and just waiting until everyone's ready and blowing them off all at the same time. The problem with this room is he has a spot over in the entrance. I will show you in a second. Right behind where he's at. So this is him waking up. He is going to break through that one. Sometimes he breaks through that one, sometimes he breaks through that one. When he breaks through this one, the nice thing is if you don't have any flash pods, he actually opens up 2 flash orbs that you can use to be able to flashbang him. You want him to be looking towards you, but once you flash... see, I missed right there, I believe. Yeah, I did. So, he's like any other monster. Once he's been flashed or poisoned or anything like that, often he becomes susceptible to it, or he becomes... it doesn't affect him. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. It doesn't affect him anymore. So, whenever he is poisoned a lot, he won't be able to be poisoned anymore. And that poses a problem if you're using a poison weapon. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to poison him as much as you want whenever you're using a poison weapon. But in this fight, I wouldn't recommend a poison weapon just because Thunder and Dragon is his weaknesses. Thunder being the best. So this is his one-shot ability. The way you dodge it is jump with your right trigger A, jump away from the center of the room or away from him, and then use your B. You will dodge it every time as long as you're not too close to him. And then the crystals I was talking about is right here. In the beginning, you can see them falling down from the sky. If you get hit by those, you will get stunned a little bit. So you want to kind of avoid those because it will mess up your jumping in air, acrobats and stuff like that. But it's not necessary. You can just avoid them naturally just by getting away from them. It is like the rock fall from the bow. With the rock fall, what it does is it constantly hits him, which eventually will stun him. And when it stuns him, it will knock him down. You can use these crystals exactly the same way. The problem is you have to have him knock the crystals down for you. If you try to yourself, it doesn't work, but as soon as he does one of his ground attacks, and that's just jumping up in the air and then hitting the ground, it will start knocking down crystals. If that happens, then you could just have him stand underneath it, constantly take 1 damage. It's not a lot of damage, but the effect of being able to constantly have a chance to knock him down is a lot better than worrying about the crystals, or about the damage. So if you can knock him down, it's better because of the fact that you can just sit there and keep dealing a lot of damage, and so on and so on. But if you can't get the knockdown properly, I'm going to try to flashbang him right here to be able to screw up his one-shot ability, and that's another technique you can use. It's really, really, really nice, but if he can't be flashbanged anymore, obviously, you're just going to have to try to dodge it. Without using the insect glaive, it is really, really hard to dodge that ability. When you see it coming, or in the beginning of the fight or the middle of the fight, like I always pretty much have, I always have the vitality cloak on whenever I can. Like, so if I have it available, obviously you want to use it. If you're not using it, it's a waste of space, and you could have been using a different cloak. And yet again, the vitality cloak is the best in my opinion for fights like this. Certain fights that are more annoying, like for example, if something is really good at seeing you, for example, the invisibility one is really, really nice. The rock steady one is good. I don't have that one yet. I believe I just haven't done the optional quest yet for it. The flying one's okay, I would say. I don't think it's really necessary or anything. So we just killed him, and we still had about 5 minutes left. And that's pretty much it. With the insect glaive, it just makes it way too easy to fight this. So if you guys do have any questions on another weapon that you want me to try out, I am more than happy to. It would be great to see what you guys want me to try to use. I will learn a weapon if I need to. The only weapon I think in the game that I haven't used yet is the charged axe, the regular, or the switch axe, and the sword and shield. I have good versions of them. I'm just not in the mood really to use them, but if you guys want me to see or use them, I will be happy to. It was a good fight. I only died once, so that means that I would have succeeded in the regular quest also. There is a mining spot on this side whenever he breaks this side, but the other side it has 2 bone piles, which I like better because the bones in this area are kind of annoying to find. There's mining spots everywhere, but the bones aren't. So we got Rarity 7 Immortal Dragon Scales, we got some Talons, Regrowth Plate, 4 Elder Blades, which is amazing. The Talon again, Tail, Carapace, and then another dragon scale. He picked up 2 dragon scales for us, carapace, and then regrowth plate. Unfortunately, we did not get any elder bones from that one, which sucks because the elder bones is the only reason why I'm doing this. But it was a pretty successful fight. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I will get back to you on those. And if you wanted to see another video, or if you wanted to see more videos, just like and subscribe. I will start making more videos on this game. This game's amazing, so it'd be great to actually play this game. So and help people out if they need the help. You could always add me on Xbox GTO Killingkong. It would just be pretty cool if you just let me know who you are and where you found me. I stream on Twitch, but for the most part right now I've been streaming on Mixer. It's just mixer.com/GTO Killingkong. It would be great for you to stop by and check out my streams or more of my videos. I will be making more videos for this. I can do other fights if you need me to go over the mechanics of any of the other fights, or if you just enjoy watching these videos, just let me know. And thank you for watching.